Welcome back and continuing the news. Lawyers representing residents of Cooper's Pen in Trelawney have filed a lawsuit before the Supreme Court accusing the state of breaching their constitutional rights during the controversial demolition exercise last week, Tuesday. Details in this report.
The lawsuit was filed today before the Supreme Court by attorney-at-law Donovan Collins. In the suit, Mr. Collins is accusing the state of violating the constitutional rights when a large contingent of police and military personnel went into the community and arrested more than 2,000 men ahead of the demolition exercise. Mr. Collins is asking the court to declare that the men were taken from their homes and illegally detained in violation of their constitutional rights. Mr. Collins is seeking damages for breaches of their constitutional rights, damages for false imprisonment, and damages for assault, among other damages. Human rights group Jamaicans for Justice JFJ has also accused the police of breaching the rights of the residents who were detained without cause. The police say the men were detained for questioning before being released. Opposition spokesperson on Land and Works, Lothan Cousins, in the meantime says he wants the immediate public disclosure of the court order relied upon in the pre-dawn demolition exercise in Cooper's Pen, Trelawney. Mr. Cousins is warning that if the order had expired without a lawful extension, the state faces serious exposure to damages claims. He pointed to a civil procedure rule which requires express permission from the court before a right of action can be issued if 6 or more years have elapsed since the underlying judgment. Mr. Cousins has also stressed that the Court of Appeal rulings relating to Cooper's Pen restrict the order to the 99 identifiable residents originally linked to the litigation.
That order is not a blank check. Removing and demolishing homes belonging to anyone outside those 99 named parties without a fresh lawful court order is illegal, and that is plain and simple. If the bailiff and the police enforced an expired order, the state is liable and affected residents can and should claim damages because the act was unlawful. I am calling on the bailiff and the state authorities to produce this order now. And to every resident displaced outside of those 99 named parties, please seek independent legal counsel immediately.
Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
And one attorney is calling out successive administrations for perpetuating one of Jamaica's biggest problems, squatting. The criticism follows the demolition of homes in Cooper's Pen, Trelawney. Jamila Maitland explains.
Attorney Helene Coley-Nicholson says the demolition of homes in Cooper's Pen, Trelawney isn't just about squatting, it's about a system of dependence that was created by successive governments.
How that system has maintained the disempowerment of our people by validating illegality and fostering dependence. And the disrespect for judicial processes, which successive courts hearing the matter decried as an abuse of the court's process by quote-unquote politicians.
Mrs. Coley-Nicholson, who was speaking during the Jamaica Teachers Association JTA annual conference in Coral Springs, not far from where the demolition took place, argues that squatting is a housing problem but becomes cyclical because of a lack of education.
And it's not just politicians who have work to do. We, the people, have to light the path so that politicians can see the way. It requires letting go of certain levers of partisan political control, such as aiding and abetting informal housing developments where people live for generations in squalor.
TVJ News understands that the population of Cooper's Pen began to grow within the last 20 years. As more hotel and construction developments get approved along the north coast, people seeking work from across the island continue to settle there. Residents told us that what began as a temporary place of shelter soon turned permanent. Basic amenities such as light and water, however, are not regularized, which, according to the attorney, breed social problems. And so, at the end of the pre-dawn demolition exercise on August 11, 20 homes turned into rubble. 40 families left impacted, including women and children. Mrs. Colin Nicholson has joined the long list of people and agencies condemning the exercise.
My heart goes out to the residents who lived through the trauma of the demolition. And if reports that the men of the community were detained prior to the demolition are true, then lawsuits against the state should be considered for breach of their constitutional rights to liberty, due process, and a myriad of other rights.
She acknowledged the government's assistance so far, but says more needs to be done, even as families prepare for back to school.
At the end of the day, should the men succeed, it is we, the taxpayers, who will have to pay for their loss and damages. I agree with a compassionate minister of religion who thoughtfully recommended that the government, in its response to the Cooper's Pen situation, should consider providing emergency housing, relocation assistance, social support intervention, to, among other things, ensure children continue to attend school.
Jamila Maitland,